Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing well. So today we'll discuss regarding decimals. So what are decimals? So decimals is just a way of writing the numbers. It's just a way of writing the numbers using a decimal point. So if I take a number 3.4. So this is a decimal point. To the left of this is the whole part of a number. This is the whole part of a number. And to the right is a fractional part. This is a fractional part. For example, if I take a mixed fraction, 3 2 upon 5. So as we already know, this is a whole part and this is a fractional part. So this fractional part can be written in a decimal form. How? 2 is the dividend and 5 is the divisor. If we divide, because 2 is smaller than 5, so we have to do like this. Just put a decimal point and just add 0, because as we will also cover it later as well, you can add a number of zeros after the decimal, because this will not change the value. It will keep 2 will remain 2. Either you write 2.0, you write 2.00, it will not change the value of 2, but it will serve a purpose here. So for example, 5 times 4 is 20, and when you subtract, you get a remainder 0. Because there is one place after the decimal here, you should also put here one place after the decimal. So 0.4. So basically 3 2 upon 5 can also be written as 3.4. To the left of the decimal point, we have the whole part, and to the right of the decimal point, we have the fractional part. Basically, decimal is a system based on 10, and that's how the name is decimals, because decimals is derived from a word decim, which means 10, which means 10. For if, for example, 2 upon 10, 2 upon 100, this even basically this is 10 times 10. 2 upon 1000, if I write, is nothing but 10 times 100. So it's a system based on 10. So for example, if 3 2 upon 5 when I took, what does that mean is, here it means 2 parts out of 5, but we convert it into 10 parts, and 2 parts out of 5, basically 4 parts out of 10. So that's how, as I was saying, no, it's a system based on 10. So we convert everything in terms of 10. So the 2 out of 5 is also right, but what we are doing, we are making the denominator equal to 10, and that's how we got 4 upon 10, and that's how we got 0.4. How many zeros in the denominator? That much number of decimal place you need to put. For example, if I write here 4 upon 100, this will be 0.04, because there are two zeros, right? So there should be two decimal places. If I write 4 upon 1000, take it anything, 42 upon 1000. So because they have three zeros, there should be three places after the decimal. So 4 2 already, two digits are already there, just add one more, and that's how this is, it is 0.042. If there are three places, if there are three zeros, there should be three places after the decimal. Sometimes you may get a number like 7 equivalent to how many zeros we have, so just like 0.742. If the number of digits in the denominators are less, you have to add 0 before to make it equal number of decimal places. How we did it over here, we just have two digits in the numerator, but there are three zeros in the denominator. To make it three, or you can say three digits after the decimal, we added 1 0 over here. Makes sense, right? So decim is just a, decim means 10. That's how the decimals is, just like a system based on 10. So what are the places names? Let's cover up that. So for example, if I take one decimal, like decimal point 342.769, this is my decimal number and my decimal point over here. So as we already know this, right? This is ones place, this is tens, right? And this is 100. 1 second, it didn't get space to write. So this is tens, right? And this is hundreds, right? And this is tenth place. So very important. We should know these places. TH. It ends with TH. This is hundredth. So you have to write hundred spelling and then add just TH. Hundredths. You can add S also. This is thousands. So same like how we have it over here this side. Same over these two. But yeah, you have to add THs. Thousands. So these are the places names. So on the right left hand side, we already know ones, tens, 100,000, 10,000, and then it keeps on going like lakhs, 10 lakhs as per Indian number system, right? And on the right hand side, we have it starts from 10, tenth, hundredth, thousands, 10,000s, and so on. Yeah. So 0 point, when it's 7, so 7, what does that mean is 7 upon 10. When it's 6, this means 6 upon 100. 9 means 9 upon 1000. That's what thousands. Yeah. So let's learn how we add decimals. Yeah. Yeah. For decimals to be added, right? So we should first understand what are like decimals. Like decimals. Yeah. So what are like decimals? Like decimals, same like how we did in like fractions, right? Like fractions which have the same denominator, right? So like decimal means which have the same number of decimal places. So for example, I have a fraction 4, I have a decimal number 4.32, and I have a another one like 4.6. Are they like? They are not, because here we have two decimal places and here we have one decimal place. We should have same number of decimal places in order to be like decimals. So what we can do? Very simple. Just add 10. As we just discussed before, right? Adding zeros to the last digit of the decimal will not change the value of the decimal number. 4.60 is same as 4.6. 4.600 is same as 4.6. So adding zeros to the last will not change the value, but will make our work easy, because adding the like decimals is easier. And one more thing, what we should remember, how to read the decimal number. So for example, if I have 742.696, I should read like 742.696. Never read it together like 696. So if we read like 742.696, that's not right. We should read as 742.696. Read the digits after the decimal point separately, individually. Don't club it. Yeah. Okay. So where were we? Yeah, we have to add them, right? So we just discussed that only the like decimals can be added. I just remove this. So 4.6, we add just 0 to the right, and yeah, that becomes 4.60, and this is 4.32. Now both of them have two decimal places. We can easily add them up. So 4.32 plus 4.60. Yeah, add them up to 369, 48, 8.92. Correct. So addition is straightforward how we add, the simple numbers. Same like that. It's just like if you're adding the decimals, just make sure that they have the same number of decimal places. You can just add 0 on the last. If I take a subtraction example, same thing there too. So let me take a different color. Uh, so 39.67 minus 24.279. Can we separate them? No, because here the number of decimal places are 3, and here the number of decimal places are just 2. They are not like. They have to be like, right? So how can we make them like? We just discussed adding just one zero in the last. Don't add it before, that will change the value. You have to add it to the right, not to the left of the last digit. Okay, because if you add it before the last digit, that will change the value, but if you add it in the end, it won't change the value. So now it has three digits after the decimal. Even this has three digits, so you can just subtract them. So 39.670 minus 24.279. So yeah, let's subtract it. So 0, we will borrow. So we got 10 and minus 9 is 1. Same how we subtract any numbers, right? And this becomes 6. Again, we need to borrow. That becomes 16. 16 minus 7 is 9. This is 5. 5 minus 2 is 3. 9 minus 4 is 5. This 3 minus 2 is 1. So 15.391 is our answer. So what is very simple, straightforward, nothing extra we are doing. But yeah, we have to make sure that the number of decimal places are same after the decimal. And how we can make it same? Just putting a 0 in the last digit. So addition subtraction is very simple. Now let's learn the multiplication. There, yeah, multiplication and division, we need to remember some points. Let's learn. Okay, so if I have 3.2 times, I'm just taking easy numbers, so 4.6, we need to multiply. Yeah, first thing, in multiplication and division, we don't have to make it like decimals. We don't look it for like decimals. We just say it's whatever is given, we can multiply them as it is. We don't have to make them like. What things we need to keep it in mind, we will see later. So let's multiply them first. So 3.2, 4.6, just multiply. Don't focus on decimals. Just multiply the numbers how we do. 2 times 6 is 12, 1 carry forward, 3 times 6 is 18, plus 1 is 19, put a 0, 4 times 2 is 8, 3 times 4 is 12, and that become 2, 9, 8, 17, 1, 3 is 4, 14, right? Now, how many decimal places we have here? That's what we need to remember. Here we have one decimal place, here we have one decimal place. Total how many places? We have to add them up. So the 1 plus 1 become 2. So in the final answer, the decimal point will come after two decimal places. So over here, 14.72. So what we need to remember, in multiplication, the decimal places gets added up. So for example, if I would have number 4.697 times 32.46, I'm not multiplying them. That we can do how we do multiplication. But yeah, in the final answer, there will be how many decimal places? Here we have three decimal places. Here we have two decimal places. In the final answer, whatever you get after multiplication, you have to have five decimal places because we add the number of decimal places. Another thing what we need to remember is always start putting the decimal point from right to left. So for example, if my answer would have been, if you multiply these two and you get some around 189 point, sorry, not, let's we don't know where to put point, right? So 1897249, for example. So I have to put three places of five places decimal, right? So don't start from the left and say 1 2 3 4 5, it will come over here. It's wrong. Instead, you should start putting the decimal from right to left. So where will the decimal come? 1 2 3 4 5, it should come here. So count like this: 1 2 3 4 5. It should be 18.97249. Yeah, makes sense. So very important, what we need to remember in multiplication, that we just multiply how we multiply any two numbers. But yeah, what we need to remember is that decimal places will get added up. So if we have two places of decimal in the one number and the other number have another two places of decimal, so 2 plus 2 is 4. In the final answer, there should be four places after the decimal. But yes, Also start counting the number of decimal places from right to left, not from left to right. Make sense? Let's see division. Yeah, this is tricky. Division is tricky. Yeah. So I have a number 32. Oh, it's not going. Hmm, yeah, it's not going right. Okay, let it be. So if I have a 32.49 divided by, let it be green, 32.49 divided by 7.42. See, if the number of decimal places are same, like here we have two decimal places and here we have two decimal places, yeah, you can say that, yeah, you can subtract it, how we add it in multiplication, right? So you can just subtract it and say, yeah, and what when you divide them, the number will have a, there won't be any decimal place, zero. You can say, but instead of that, what I will say is just write it in the fraction form. 332.49 divided by 7.42. Please learn this, that is better. It's not going right. How to get rid of it? Yeah, it went. Okay, 7.42. If the number of decimal places are same, just keep it in mind, decimal places get cancelled. You just divide them now. 33,249 divided by 742. There is no decimal point at all. But when they have the different decimal places, for example, if we take a number, 10.2 divided by 46.23, for example. Now you have to divide them. Always, as we already know, that the numerator will be the dividend, right? And the one in the denominator is the divisor. So please keep it in mind. To divide decimals, you have to make the denominator decimal free. So what does that mean, decimal free? You have to remove the decimal from the denominator. How we can do that? Just count the number of decimal places. How many number of decimal places do we have here? 2 multiplied by 100. If we have two decimal places, multiply by 100. If we have one decimal place in the denominator, multiply by 10. So how many decimal places we have? Equivalent number of zeros you need to multiply with. So if we have three decimal places, you need to multiply with 1000. Other thing you need to remember is whatever you multiply with the denominator, multiply with the numerator. Very important. Basically, this is cancel outs. You're doing nothing. It's, it should be just simplification, not amending the question, right? So 10.2, when you multiply by 100, this becomes 1020 divided by 4623. Make sense? And now divide it. You know how you divide, same way we can just proceed. Make sense, right? So what do we need to remember in division? In division, we have to make the denominator decimal free, and you have to multiply with 10, 100,000 depending upon the number of decimal places. If there's only one decimal place in the denominator, multiply with 10. If you have two decimal places, multiply with 100. If you have three decimal places, multiply with 1000. Whatever you multiply with the denominator, you need to multiply with the numerator as well. And that's all. And the rest is just simple division, how we divide, right? So this is what we need to remember. So today what we discuss, what is the decimals? Decimal is a way of just writing the numbers, right? Writing the numbers using a decimal point. Where left to the decimal point, we have the whole part of the number, and to the right, we have the fractional part of the number. Then we also learn, like decimals, having the same number of decimal places, right? And we learned the addition and the subtraction. And for addition and subtraction, you have to make the any decimal numbers like, because then only you can add and subtract them. And also we learned multiplication and the division. In multiplication, just add the number of decimal places, or just multiply the numbers how we normally do. And once you get the answer, just add the number of decimal places in both the numbers, add them up, and put that much equivalent, that much number of decimal places in the final answer. In division, we have to make sure that denominator is decimal free by, just multiply with 10, 100,000 depending upon the number of decimal places, and whatever you multiply with the denominator, multiply with the numerator as well, and divide it how we divide, right? Now if we see how we compare the decimal numbers, same like how, we have done in fractions, right? So if I have two decimal numbers like 34.27, I have 49.26. Please start from left to right. So 3, 4. Okay, one more thing. So compare the number before the decimals. Compare the number. I don't know why this went like that. Yeah, compare the number before the decimal. So if it is 34 and here we have 49, definitely 49 is bigger than 34. Then you don't even have to see the number, whatever we have after the decimal. Just ignore it. So this number is bigger. Yeah. If I take 49.72 and 49.89. Now, if you see before the decimal, we have the same number, 49 here, 49 here. Now you need to move to the digits after the decimal. So after the decimal, we have a 7 here, we have a 8 here. This is bigger. So we have to move from left to right. Now, if I add one more digit here and just keep it 8, 9, you can make it like, you can just add 0 in the last, right? So it won't change the value, it's the same number, and same concept from left to right. So 49 is same before the decimal, so same like how we'll proceed, right? So don't consider that, oh, this has a more number of decimal places and this is bigger. No, it all depends how we move from left to right, which one bigger comes first. Yeah. So we'll do one thing. I'll prepare one sheet on fractions and decimals, and yeah, you people work on it, and then we'll discuss the doubts in the next video. So I hope we are clear with the decimals concept, right? Very simple, but yeah, very important. So we'll do one thing. We'll cover up uh, some other topics of fractions and decimal, like word statements on fractions and word statement on decimals, and yeah, then in that we'll finalize this topic. Yeah. So thank you for your patience, and we'll meet in the next video. Thank you.